S&P 500 closes higher in late session U-turn. Home Depot casts doubt on further improvement. Macy's delivers upbeat 2021 sales forecast. Bitcoin plunge drags Tesla down. I'm Mike Wallace, and this is TFT Nightly News. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration said on Tuesday it was ordering immediate inspections of Boeing 777 planes with Pratt & Whitney PW4000 engines before further flights after an engine failed on a United flight on Saturday.
U.S. regulators have ordered the immediate inspection of Boeing 777 planes equipped with the engine that suffered a catastrophic failure on Saturday.
Hear it?
Yeah. United Airlines Flight 328 had to make an emergency landing in Denver after its right engine blew apart just after takeoff. Saturday's incident prompted the grounding of dozens of Boeing 777 planes, which are fitted with the Pratt & Whitney PW4000 engine. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration wants operators to inspect the large titanium fan blades on the front of each engine before any further flights. Boeing said it supported the FAA's guidance and will work through the process with its customers. United Airlines, Egypt Air, and operators in Japan and South Korea have all said they will not be flying their Boeing 777s. United has warned of possible disruptions to its cargo flight schedule in March as it juggles the rest of its fleet. Saturday's engine failure is a fresh blow for Boeing. The world's largest aerospace company is already trying to repair its image following the grounding of its flagship 737 MAX. The plane model was forced to be suspended from service for nearly 2 years after 2 deadly crashes.
Macy's is betting that its full-year sales will exceed current Wall Street estimates due to another expected round of government stimulus checks and a return of customers to its department stores once COVID-19 vaccinations curb the pandemic's impact.
The past 12 months have been tough for many brick-and-mortar retailers, quickening a downward spiral that was already happening before the health crisis forced non-essential shops to temporarily close. But Macy's is betting on better days ahead. The struggling department store chain on Tuesday gave a full-year sales outlook that was at the high end of Wall Street forecasts. It's banking on a return of spending during the back half of the year, when vaccines should encourage shoppers to go outdoors and spend again. At the same time, it is continuing to bet that a large portion of the seismic shift to online spending is here to stay. Macy's optimism came on the heels of better-than-expected results during the holiday quarter as stimulus checks and strong online shopping offset any drag from the health crisis. And like all retailers, Macy's is expected to benefit from a White House stimulus package making its way through Congress that could include a $1,400 check to households. Investors who are betting Macy's will be among the strong to survive the Darwinian decline in the sector have pushed the stock up roughly 30% in the past 3 months.
The price of Bitcoin plummeted on Tuesday and took shares of electric car maker Tesla along for the ride, and investors now fret about Tesla's exposure to the cryptocurrency that has seen its value plunge since hitting a record high on Sunday.
A big drop in the price of Bitcoin Tuesday is fueling fears a recent buying frenzy had pushed the value of the notoriously volatile asset far beyond where it should be. The world's biggest cryptocurrency was in the throes of its biggest daily plunge in a month, sparking the liquidation of leveraged bets and a sell-off across the cryptocurrency world. Tesla was also caught up in the whirlwind as the plummet in Bitcoin takes the shine off of Tesla's recent $1.5 billion Bitcoin investment. With that gamble now worth much less, the stock is under pressure, erasing all of its gains for the year, shaving off more than $110 billion of market value and some $20 billion from CEO Elon Musk's net worth. Nerves have gotten the best of Bitcoin buyers since it hit a record high on Sunday of more than $58,000. Since then, it has lost over 20% of its value, trading at one point at about $46,000 on Tuesday. Rising government bond yields have recently knocked the wind out of riskier assets on Wall Street, and Bitcoin is one of the riskiest of them all. The stampede away from Bitcoin only intensified by investors dumping purchases made with borrowed money. Adding to the pressure, comments from U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, who on Monday said the digital currency was extremely inefficient at conducting transactions and was a highly speculative asset. Even with Tuesday's plunge, Bitcoin is still up 60% so far this year.
Wall Street reversed its losses late Tuesday, with the S&P 500 and the Dow reclaiming positive territory by the close in a tug of war between stocks that thrived amid lockdowns and those that stand to benefit most from a reopening economy.
Wall Street reversed its losses late Tuesday, with the S&P 500 and the Dow creeping into positive territory by the close. The Nasdaq was the only major U.S. stock index in the session to lose ground, falling half a percentage point. High-flying tech stocks such as Apple and Amazon weighed on the market for much of the day as investors instead rushed into shares that stand to benefit the most from a reopening economy.
The job is not done.
Investors' anxieties eased after Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, in testimony before Congress, pushed back against concerns that inflation will become a threat and signaled no change to the central bank's easy money policies.
The main thing that we can do is continue to support the economy, give it the support that it needs. We're still 10 million jobs below the level of payroll jobs before the crisis. There's still a long way to go.
Max Wolf, economist at Systematic Ventures, says investors are at an inflection point.
Yeah, so the market has tended to see all the bad news as fabulous as an insurance that interest rates will stay in the near zero zone and policy will stay accommodative. But I think it's starting to dawn on some people that there's actually a reason for that, which isn't so fabulous, which is that for a lot of folks, particularly the bottom 60 to 80% of the income distribution, and for folks who are less able to work remotely and be kind of seamlessly employed before, during, and after the pandemic, there's been a whole lot of loss here.
Tesla closed down more than 2% lower after sliding as much as 13% earlier in the session. The electric car maker dropped amid the tech sell-off and the decline of Bitcoin. The company had recently announced it invested $1.5 billion into the cryptocurrency, which took a hit on Tuesday. Meanwhile, home improvement retailer Home Depot posted better than expected quarterly earnings, but it casts doubt on whether spiking sales, driven by consumers taking on do-it-yourself projects as they spend more time at home, are sustainable going forward. Its shares were the heaviest drag on the Dow, falling 3%.
Home Depot on Tuesday warned that it could not predict if its strong run from last year will continue into 2021, as its quarterly results handily beat analyst estimates.
Home Depot had a blowout year, but the world's largest home improvement retailer warned Tuesday that it could not predict if those good times will continue into 2021. Americans stuck at home had been snapping up tools, paint, and building materials to spruce up their homes throughout the health crisis. But the rollout of vaccines and the hopes of a return to normalcy have led many to believe that sales growth in 2021 will fade. Home Depot's chief financial officer said the company is, in his words, not able to predict how consumer spending will evolve. He said if demand in the back half of last year were to continue, comparable sales will be flat to slightly positive in 2021. Home Depot's decision to withhold guidance disappointed investors. Shares fell 6% in early trading Tuesday, despite a 25% jump in same-store sales as well as net sales in the latest quarter. Those results, as well as profit, beat analysts' estimates. For the year, Home Depot grew its bottom line by 14%.
And those are the latest from around the world. I'm Mike Wallace, and this is TFT Nightly News.